Well, we're calling it the worm moon, and we have to remember that when we are using these terms, that we are using a European perspective or European ideology when we're speaking about this moon. The reasons why they call it the worm moon, right, is the European settlers, when they got here to America, we have to remember that for a small second before genocide, that they were learning from the different tribes that was here in America. They witnessed that during this moon that a large level of earthworms come back to the earth. As they come back, we witness different rodents that eat insects come. We witness different birds. We know that the birds eat the earthworms. As these two sets of animals come back, what comes back with them? The larger animals, the predators, right? The ones that's looking to eat these rodents or eat these birds. So this is a symbolization of us seeing that animals come back, springtime come back, and different things like that. But we have to remember that calling it the worm moon is from the European settlers. We dived deeper and searched through the Ojibwa tribe or the Algonquin tribes, right? And even the Dakota tribe. The Dakota tribe calls this moon the crust moon. The reason why they call it the crust moon is because in certain regions like North Dakota, South Dakota, most northern regions of America is still dealing with the intel or the end of winter. So they're still dealing with ice and snow being melted. So they call it the crust moon. Okay? Ojibwa or the Algonquin tribes, they call this moon the crow moon. Why do they call it the crow moon? This is a signal that winter is over. Crows have a specific call. They have a specific song that they sing when more temperatures are rising, when plants are growing, when those earthworms are coming back. Crows give off a symbolization through song. Now, if we look at the crow, which this is what those tribes wanted us to do during this point of time, we're dealing with March. We're dealing with the spring equinox, which we'll speak about in a moment. But we're dealing with March, right? This is the final, or this is the real new year, right? So when we look at the crow, what is the crow trying to tell us? They're telling about death. We always see the crow linked up with death, but this death is not a bad thing. We understand transitioning, we understand transforming, we understand shedding off old layers of ourselves so we can be the best versions of ourselves moving forward. We understand that death equals new, right? Death equals beginning, death equals start. So the crow is trying to tell us about that rebirthing. It's trying to tell us about that growth stage, right? So we can be in frequency with the rest of the world, with those plants, with those animals being born. We see animals going through reproduction. We see them mating around this time. Eggs are being hatched and different things like that, right? So it's about growth, it's about expanding. The crow is trying to tell us about shadow work. We have to understand how to do the shadow work. A lot of us, we don't do shadow work and we think that we're a spiritual people and we start running into turmoil and tribulation and we don't understand why. And it's because we're not diving into the meaning and the spiritual benefits of what the crow is trying to symbolize to us, which is for to do the shadow work. The crows is also, we always speak about how intelligent the crows are, right? You can teach crows to steal money. You can teach crows to deliver messages and different things like that. Crows have always been a symbol of the medium, right? The communicators, the ones who is responsible for being the messengers or the voice between the different worlds, the human earthly world and the spiritual plane, right? So they become a communication symbol, but they also becomes a symbol for you to tap into your higher intuition as well. We can even link certain information up with the crow, with the third eye, and different things like that as far as the intuition benefits that it have. But the crow is also trying to tell us about cycles, right? Comes back with the death and the rebirth and different things like that, that everything is a continuous cycle. It's trying to teach us about the light. It's trying to teach us about the darkness. It's trying to teach us that the dormant winter season does not always last. And it's about preparation. It's about calculations. It's about looking towards the future, preparing for the new year, okay? And this comes with the ideology of saying that it's geared up or linked or synchronized with the third eye, because it's going to worry about that preparation. It's going to worry about the insight, right? Looking within, self-evaluation. In Ifa, we celebrate Obatala in March. Why do we celebrate Obatala in March? What does Obatala represent to us? Yes, Obatala represents purity, right? It represents balance. It represents transition and transformation, right? Obatala in March is also found in synchronicity because you have the spring equinox. The spring equinox is between March 19th to March 21st. If you add these numbers up, you get the number of 4, right? And we already know if we double the 4, we get to the number 8, and we're back at Obatala. Okay? We have to understand peace as well. Renewal of peace, renewal of the purity. This is us so-called starting over, right? This is us going back to the drawing board, figuring out how we can cleanse off the things that no longer serve us, how we can replace the negative energy that no longer serve our destiny or our journey. And this comes back to Obatala, because who did we say Obatala was? Obatala was the one who crafts us, the one who gives us our Ori Anu, the one who gives us our destiny, the one who gives us our path. So this is why Obatala is present. He's not one of the oldest Orisas, but he's one of the most important Orisas if we're talking about creation, if we're talking about starting over, if we're talking about transformation. We know that Obatala was the one who was responsible. He is the energy. He is the Orisa that was responsible for creating the world. So of course he will be in representation. Of course he will be in synchronicity during March, during the true New Year. So we got to remember to slow down. We got to remember to open our eye, right? We got to remember to be able to meditate with the crow and see what the crow is doing for us. This is what you should be doing during March. You should be looking for the crow. You should be looking and observing the crow and its behavior. What is its task during this moment? Is it out just looking for food? No, not at this moment. Is it out building nests, building foundation? Yes, at this moment. Is it looking for new growth, new trees, new mates, new endeavors of the year? Yes, it is. So this is what you should be doing. You should be getting rid of the things that didn't grow last year, and you should be dropping new seeds. You should be plundering the earth. You should be plundering your environments, looking for things that can help you get through this year. So this is the importance of understanding this moon, that we do not call it the worm moon, that we call it the crow moon, or we call it the crust moon. This is based off of the tribal honor, right? This is based off the tribal respect. The worm moon makes sense, but it also have a European ideology behind it. And we never want to, draw too many lines and make things too confusing. So you have to evaluate your personal life and then evaluate these naturopathic occurrences and understand what energy is present during what points of time of the world. Okay? So this is the benefits of March. This is the benefits of the so-called worm moon, and this is the benefits or the reasons why we call it the crow moon, to tap into the true energy that is placed on the world and the universe at this time. Okay? Power is ultimate, families. Everyone stay healthy out there. Ashe Abakum, Abaru, Aboye, Abosheshe.